Welcome to Wolf of Scholarships. My name is James Hilgis, and I am the founder of this program and CEO. I'm here to help you graduate college debt-free and never have a single loan in your name. So real briefly, my story. So, I'm stuck in the middle class. So I'm like most people. I am not at the lower end of the spectrum where I can get government assistance, and I'm not at the high end of the spectrum where my parents can just, plop down thousands of dollars and pay for my school. So this is where a lot of people find themselves. This is where the majority of America is. We are in the middle class. So chances are your parents work, maybe one of them, maybe both of them, and chances are they both have college degrees. These degrees could be, master's degrees, MBAs, or they could just have a simple bachelor's or associate's degree. But regardless, they have some form of college education, and you're not the first person in your family to go to school. So therefore, when you apply for things like FAFSA, the government will give you assistance, but it's in the form of loans. I do not encourage loans. I am against them 110%. I'm here to teach you ways to avoid getting loans. That is my whole purpose to creating this website, this blog, this YouTube channel. So is the school tab on you? For me personally, it wasn't totally on me. I couldn't count on mom and dad if, the economy went south. 08 was recent. It was 4 years prior when I started school in 2012. So they were there to cover the bill that I couldn't make up with scholarships, but I couldn't totally count on them because no one knows what is going to happen in the future. So I would end up creating my own full ride. I would apply for 20 to 30 different scholarships over the course of the year, and piecing them all together, I would create my own full ride. So I accumulated roughly $40,000 to $50,000 in scholarships. That amount's still growing. When I first started, I didn't keep track totally perfectly. I didn't realize it would take off in the form that it has, and I feel like I should give back in some sense to help other people. This is what I've learned. That way you decrease the learning curve. My goal is to help you decrease the learning curve so you can start winning scholarships right away. It's about getting the odds and the probability in your favor. So I am a semester away from graduating with a BS in civil engineering from the University of Akron. I have none, zero, nada, zilch debt or loans. I don't owe a penny to anybody for my college education. It is a great feeling, and I'm here to help you get that feeling because I hate loans and I don't like student debt that we have. So, all right, cool. My story is, gay for me, pat myself on the back. You don't care about me. You want to know how I can help you, right? So why is this important to you? When you graduate school, you're going to have dreams. Maybe you want to start a small business. Maybe you want to go on a vacation to, Aruba, the Caribbean. It's snowing in Ohio. It's March. Maybe I would love to go south. Maybe you want to buy a house. Some of you looking to get a house, put a down payment down. Some of you could be planning a wedding. I know I've had 2 buddies already get married, and the third one's engaged. I'm 21. I'm just over here trying to get rid of my high school truck, and these guys are off getting married. And from what I hear, weddings are rather expensive, and you really can't afford a nice wedding, the love of your life, if you're paying down college debt. Or you may want a dream car. You may want to buy a new car. Case in point, I do, because I've been driving the same truck since high school. So here's a picture. Get motivated because you want to go there too, or someplace similar. So debt will kill you. This is just a simple example to show you how debt will crush you financially, not literally. So your average 4-year in-state public university is about $24,000. That number is obviously going to go up as this video will be published in 2016. That number will go up depending on when you watch this. The tuition is not coming down. I'm sorry, it'll be the reality if you haven't figured that out, but tuition's only going one way, and that's up. So if you graduate, your total graduation debt will be about $96,000. I looked up the standard interest rate. It's about 5% based on the USA Today. Obviously, that will vary depending on your loan structure, your cosigner, your credit score, et cetera, but it's a good average just to give you an idea. So your 5-year loan, if you get a 5-year loan at 60 months and you pay back $1,800 a month, you'll pay back $14,000 extra dollars, which will be a total of $110,000, and that is if you pay it back in 5 years. If you get a 5% rate, if you pay $1,800 a month. $1,800 a month is a lot of money. Let's round it up to $2,000 and times that by 12. Quick mental math, that's $24,000 a year. That's a good, that's about half of most people's starting salary. That's a decent amount of money, and your salary obviously gets taxed, so you have to take home less. So it's obviously going to get real ugly real fast. The numbers only get uglier, so trust me. And currently, the most recent fact I heard is student debt is at about $1.7 trillion, or somewhere in that ballpark. Regardless, it's 1 trillion something, and that's a lot of money. It's the second largest debt the United States government has besides home mortgages. So here's ways to make money for college. You can fill out FAFSA. I highly encourage everyone to fill out FAFSA. The worst thing they can tell you is no. I will always encourage people to try something. The worst they can say is no. If you sit on the sidelines and wonder what if, coulda, shoulda, woulda, well, you'll be kicking yourself the rest of your life. So FAFSA comes in 2 forms. You get a subsidized, which is the cheaper version of a loan. You don't start paying back interest until after you graduate. And if you get unsubsidized, you start paying back as soon as you walk out of the bank. You have to start paying back on that loan. So regardless of if it's your freshman year and you don't have a job yet and you just go to school, you start accruing interest right away. So by the time you do graduate, that number is going to be really, really high. You can get grants. These are mostly found through FAFSA. They're like Pell Grant and other long names that I don't remember off the top of my head. You can get loans. If you want to get a loan, I'm not the guy to teach you how to get a loan. I have no clue. So if you want to get a loan, I will try and help you find someone else to learn how to get them. But I highly encourage you to explore all other avenues, legal avenues, of course, before exploring loans. Scholarships, which is obviously why I'm here to help you, or you can work part-time as I did. I worked at Carter Lumber, and I worked for my co-op employer part-time during the school year. You can also rob a bank. Disclaimer, if you commit any illegal crimes to pay for school, I am not liable. But just ideas, right? So scholarship myths. So a lot of people have every excuse in the book for why they should not apply for scholarship, and I'm here to shoot down every single one of them. And of course, if you find another scholarship myth, feel free to email me at wolfofscholarships@gmail.com, and I will gladly shoot down your myth as well. You have to cure cancer to win. Okay, no you don't. Graduating high school, I was far from a perfect student. I was sleeping in class, and I spent most of the time in the hallway, getting kicked out of class. I was not athletic at all. I only played sports because I thought girls would talk to me, and I liked the game of football because I was fat, so I could play. You do not have to cure cancer to win scholarships. Why? Because no one freaking applies. That's why. I'm just the average person too, man. I'm a white male in civil engineering. There is a bajillion of me. I don't have any feel-good stories. My story will not make you cry. I didn't overcome anything crazy. Both my parents, God bless them, are still alive. They both work. I don't have any crazy tear-jerking feeling. And I'm a white male in civil engineering. There's a bajillion of us. I'm not here to get racist or sexist. It's just the truth. There's a lot of that. So I can't apply for certain scholarships because I don't meet the race requirements or the gender requirements. So there's a lot of me in the world. I don't, like I said, I'm a healthy individual. I have no disabilities, thankfully. So I don't have any crazy story, that tugs on people's emotional heartstrings to win scholarships. And no one really applies for these. It's really unfortunate. There is roughly, I think the last number I said was about $10 billion in scholarships a year, and some of it goes for just unawarded because nobody applies. I mean, they're out there. I've had scholarships. 2 examples. One scholarship, they moved the due date back a whole month because either A, I don't know the exact details, but I know for a fact either A, no one applied, or B, they didn't have a large enough pool of applicants that they wanted to fulfill to pick a winner. And the second time, I applied for a scholarship from the Ohio Contractors Association. This is a group for contractors in the state of Ohio. They have 7 chapters, I believe, in basically the major metropolitan areas of Ohio: Akron, Canton, Columbus, Cincinnati, Dayton, Toledo, Eastern Ohio, and Cleveland. I won 2 of those 7, and the same person or group reads my application, so they knew I applied. Yet I still won both of them because they didn't have anyone else to pick from. No, this is also not false. I can honestly say I have copy and pasted essays and reapplied. Simple as that. Save every single essay. It'll help you in the future. Back up real quick. Once you get your major, a lot of scholarship applications or essays will ask you very similar questions or almost the same question on essays. Unfortunately, in college, not all professors are created equal. Some just flat out suck. I disagree with tenure, but that's a whole nother rant for a whole nother day. But I don't agree with it, and unfortunately, some college professors just suck. It's just the reality. I don't think that's how it should be, especially for plumping down all this money. We should not have crappy professors that can't teach. They may be smart. I'm not saying they're stupid, but they can't teach. So I highly encourage you, once you get in your field and your studies, you start, becoming a freshman, sophomore, junior, start to form a relationship with a professor. Maybe 1 or 2, but get become good friends with them. Not buddy buddy. You're not texting them on the weekend like, oh, I love you, my BFF Joe. No, but they will help you write letters of recommendation. If you want to go into grad school, they'll help you write letters of recommendation and give you leads. Definitely you're going to need professors to write letters of recommendation for you. So I highly encourage you to develop good relations with professors. Some just suck, and like I said, that's just unfortunate. Always have someone proofread your essays. I reused essays for 4 years now, and I still have someone proofread them. We always find some mistake, some punctuation that can be fixed, some way to make it better. You're never going to get worse having someone proofread your essays. Basically, look at it as increasing your odds of winning. So if an unproofread essay has a 25% chance of winning, then one time proofreading gives you 40%, 2 times 50%, etc., etc., etc. Obviously, there's a law of diminishing returns. After a certain point, it just tapers off, but I doubt most of you will write essays that are that good. Maybe you will. Surprise me. So, also, I just thought of a myth. You do not have to just be a high school senior. You can apply for scholarships all throughout your college career. I've applied to scholarships since freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior years. So regardless of age, there's always scholarships for you in your college career, so always keep applying every year. So here's my secret process. Can we get a drum roll, please? Bam, that's it. There you go. I can walk out of the room, drop the mic. Basically, I find scholarships, I apply for them, I win them, I keep tabs on them, I'll find them the next year, I'll reapply for them, I'll win them, and I just rinse and repeat. And the money comes in, and you don't have debt. So, where do I find these scholarships? So you can get this giant freaking book called the College Board Book of Scholarships. It's expensive. It's basically like the encyclopedia. Some of you may be so young that you don't even know what the hell an encyclopedia is. It's this giant freaking printed book before things like Wikipedia and Google existed, where people had to go look up things if they wanted to know something. It's expensive. It changes every year because obviously the scholarships change every year. You may be able to find it in your library, but it's not really a resort I use, but just so you know it exists. You can go to your office. These are kind of places like filing cabinets or offices, whatever you want to call them. You can find your guidance counselor in high school. Potentially your guidance counselor in college will have scholarships for you. The Rotary Club, if your community, your local chamber of commerce, things of that nature. Local-based things will have local scholarships like your Lions Club. Maybe your Veterans Association will have one if you're a veteran. You can use scholarship websites. These are like FastWeb, scholarships.com. The scholarships are okay. You have to create a profile. If you do create a profile, you obviously have to answer questions as to your major, your GPA, so they can kind of help sort or filter scholarships for you. I encourage you to, if you're going to look at them, I highly encourage you to set up a profile and filter them, because it saves you from looking through thousands that aren't even applicable to you. But if you do sign up, use a fake email or forward all those emails to your spam, because they will blow up your inbox. You'll easily get upwards of multiple 20 emails a week and stuff, but be careful. Some of them are scams, and they just say, enter your email address and we'll pull your number like the lottery kind of thing to win money. And really, they just get your email address and they sell it off to marketing firms and things of that nature to get, they have your email address, now they can send you advertisements or spam mail to get crap. So they're there, but they're not that useful. Google is where it's at. Google is where I've found a majority of my scholarships. So how do you use Google exactly? Well, you can do, let's fast forward real quick. So basically you can do the keywords on the right hand of the screen will be like, this is obviously more helpful once you find your major. Unfortunately, most scholarships that I found, well, actually I can't speak to this. I went into college knowing my major. I just knew what I wanted to do was civil engineering. So I didn't have to look for scholarship for those that are undecided. I can help you do research into finding scholarship for those of you that are undecided. But definitely once you find your major, it'll definitely be a lot easier, because basically everything follows down that list from your major. So for me, civil engineering, and then you go look at companies. Companies will be like AECOM, Parsons and Brinkerhoff. These big engineering firms will have scholarships sometimes. Organizations, so you can do, there's a Tau Beta Pi, which is Engineering Honor Society. You can do the American Society of Civil Engineers, the American Society of Mechanical Engineers, the American Society of Automotive Engineers, business societies, business organizations, things of that nature. So once you know your major, it'll definitely be more helpful. Unfortunately, I can help you try and find scholarships if you're undecided, but I can't totally speak to that just because that was not my experience. But basically, any of the keywords that you can think of on the right side of the screen will fall into the left side. So you can search for civil engineering scholarship, business scholarship, accounting fellowship, social science cash award, things of that nature. So that's how I use Google. You can obviously play around with it and optimize it, but that's how I've had the best luck. So when you apply for a scholarship, chances are it's going to ask for all or some of the following items in an application, which is pretty self-explanatory. Your name, your address, blah, blah, blah. A transcript, you can typically get these from your college. You just request them. From my experience, the University of Akron, at least, and I'm sure most colleges are like this, they'll send, I think it's about 10 free transcripts a semester to whoever you request. So I highly encourage you to do that. An essay question could or could not be there. There could be more than one. A budget of some sort of financial statement, basically showing that you have some sort of financial need. Letters of recommendation, these can be from professors or people in academics or possible employers. A resume, I will show you, there's an example resume online of my personal one. I took out some of the private information like my GPA and my address because I don't want y'all coming knocking on my door and helping y'all get free money. A course list, basically showing that you're going to take these courses in your major. I know I've had some scholarships say they want to see you take a certain course. So obviously I wasn't going to take that course, so I couldn't apply, but they want proof of that. Proof of enrollment is like transcripts. You can get these from your college. You just request them online. Basically, it just says that, yes, James Hilgis is a student here. His ID number is number, and maybe they want a list of scholarships, extracurriculars, awards, things of that nature. Don't ever lie on a scholarship application. I put down on scholarship, as you can see on some example essays, they ask for most of scholarships, and I will literally put all 20 or whatever I've applied for. Regardless of if I won them or not, I'll put either, if I won, I'll put awarded. If I don't know yet, I leave this open. And if I got denied, I just put denied. And I put them all there because it shows there's two ways of looking at it. Okay, they look at it like, wow, this kid has a chance to earn a lot of money. Or they look at it as, wow, this person really bust their ass to get money for school. There's two trains of thought. It really hasn't shot me in the foot too much because, again, most people don't apply. So what's it going to do? But lying's going to screw you over. So regardless, you should put it down because if they find out, you have some serious ramifications. So everyone's number one reason for why they don't write scholarships or don't apply for scholarships. Sorry, getting Snapchats. I'm not professional. I'm not a businessman. Just a college kid helping y'all make money. So essay writing. So this is why most people don't apply. This is their number one excuse. So you mind map it. So you basically create a web. I've used this with sometimes. Sometimes it just comes right to me. But if you're struggling, just mind map it. Create a web, basically this one I found on Google was health, and then they just branched off everything. And when you're doing this, there's no such thing as a stupid idea. I highly encourage you to do this with pencil and paper. It's just something more natural about letting ideas flow from the mind. When you do it on a screen and you're staring at a blank screen, it gets kind of intimidating. Take it for what it's worth, but I've had luck with just jotting down ideas on paper. So then you create the outline. I also recommend doing that on paper. Just staring at a blank screen is sometimes overwhelming, I guess. You're like, oh my gosh, I have to, how am I getting 500 words? This is, you just get overwhelmed. Shut off your computer. Sometimes it Google questions and it helps generate ideas, but for the most part, I recommend just pencil and paper. Write it. And again, when you write this, I'm a perfectionist, so this is hard for me. I want this essay to be perfect the first time I write it, and it makes it a lot harder. So I just encourage you just to write. You can always fix it later. It's not the final version. So then proofread it. This is basically the same process. So you'll proofread it, and you'll rewrite it a little bit, and you'll proofread it, and you may even do it again. You may do that several iterations of the essay before you have your final copy. When you have your final copy, go out and celebrate. I highly encourage you to party, because you got free money on the way. Well, not really free, but easy money. We'll call it that. So here are some scholarship roids. No, I don't encourage you to take roids. Come on. Look at these 22s. So anyway, scholarship roids. So basically, these are just ways to help you increase your scholarship performance. Stay organized. I showed you an organizational template. I made a video showing you how I organize my Dropbox folders for all my scholarships, how I organize a spreadsheet. That template's on here. I'm freaking giving it to you. Use it. You'll never miss a deadline. If you do, it happens. We're human. We're not perfect, but stay organized. Save everything. As I've showed you in Dropbox and all my essays online, I've uploaded every essay. Obviously, some of them don't have the prompts with them. They're not as clean. I didn't know that I'd be uploading them to a website like this and helping other people when I was applying. So forgive me if they're not perfect, but I still saved all my essays, and it helps you, like I said, to reuse those essays. Get involved. So the example that I always give with this when I give presentations to students is this. Michael Jordan was great at basketball because he solely focused on the sport of basketball. He did not try and play basketball and start Microsoft. Likewise, Bill Gates focused on computers and did not try to play basketball like Michael Jordan. That is why they're both very, very successful at what they did. In college, it's a little bit different. They want you to be well-rounded, which is why you have to take things outside your major, like ethics classes, math classes, science classes, social studies kind of classes, things of that nature. They want you to be a well-rounded student. So if I have Billy over here, and Billy has a 4.0, but all Billy does is go to school, well, you're darn well sure better, Billy. You are darn well sure, as a little bit of a tongue twister, that Billy better have a 4.0. That's all he's freaking doing. If you're doing one thing, then you better be the best at it because that's all you're doing. So they much rather see someone who's involved. You do clubs like, maybe some athletic, intramural things. You're involved in some student organizations. Plus, the experiences are great. I know for me personally, I've done things with, the American Society of Civil Engineers and the Steel Bridge team. We went to Kansas City last year. We got some amazing freaking barbecue. And we rode roller coasters in Kansas City, even though I'm freaking terrified of roller coasters. Sometimes you give in to peer pressure. But you get to go out and have fun and experience things, and you should enjoy college. So it's a great way to enjoy college and use that enjoyment and experience to, gain easy money. Always ask if you have a question. If you're not sure of, the eligibility, always ask. I've applied for scholarships. Like, hey, I meet 3 of the 4, qualifications or requirements. Do you mind if I apply? And chances are they'll just let you apply. So just always ask. Worst they can say is no. It may take 2 minutes for you to make a phone call or ask, but always ask. Never burn a bridge. You never know when people can help you. Like I said, not all professors are created equal, but just because a professor sucks, don't go posting on rate my professor down. Oh, this professor sucks. Rate or rampage, or Reddit or whatever. Just never burn a bridge. You never know when that person could help you. Just things suck in life. We all have things we don't like, but just keep it to yourself. Study. If you're paying for school, chances are you do not want to repeat a class. That is a lot of money you will be repeating or spending to repeat. It could be a couple $100, $1,000, depending how many credit hours, how much it costs per credit hour, how many credit hours you took. Regardless, if you fail classes, it costs money, and getting good grades always improves your odds of winning. So look at it at that. That's how I looked at it. If you're going to look at scholarships, look at it like this. You work for, let's say, 2 hours. We'll give you even 3 hours to earn a $1,000 scholarship. That's roughly $333.33 per hour. That's a pretty darn good rate. You're not going to get paid that out of school unless you start the next Microsoft or Facebook, or you do something illegal, or you somehow get really lucky in the lottery. But regardless, your odds of making money on scholarships like that is a lot easier than those other things. So study, it never hurts you. Submit professional work. I highly encourage you to type all essays. If they say handwriting's okay and they give you a paper form, scan it into a computer and type it in Adobe Acrobat. Most college computers will probably have access to Adobe Acrobat Pro. I highly encourage you to use it. It costs $16 to get it a month to use it from Adobe, from the cloud. I have it. I combine all my PDFs into one document. I will upload a video showing my most perfect scholarship essay I ever sent in, but submit professional work. So there you have it. This is that's my personal email address. You can also email wolfofscholarships@gmail.com. But feel free to ask me any questions that you may have. I'm here to help you, and I'm here to help you avoid getting any sort of debt or loans in college. I wish you all the best, and if you have questions, feel free to ask me. I will be expanding Wolf of Scholarships in the coming months and years as I continue to grow this service.